name's Ben and welcome to the channel, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Mustang that I've been fortunate enough to have in the driveway for the last 4 weeks. I certainly enjoyed my time with the Mustang. It was a bit of a surprise to get during the COVID-19 period, but it's certainly a welcome change compared to the daily driver that I have, which is a Subaru WRX STI. So I did have this car during COVID-19, so getting it out on the road and getting photos and video and everything was a little bit difficult, but I did put some effort in and get some things done. So I hope you enjoy what you see here today. So I've got a few videos coming that I've put together on the Mustang, but for this video here today, we're going to kick off with a bit of a photo shoot done at a photography studio. It's really interesting shooting cars in a white space, so I hope you enjoy that little bit of a behind the scenes look. And following from that, I'll do a quick little driving experience video behind the car, and I'll probably then jump in at the end driving my Subaru again and talking about how I feel being back behind that turbocharged all-wheel drive car. If you've enjoyed these videos, please like and subscribe to my channel. It is greatly appreciated. And of course, check out my written description on this video as well, because I've put a chunk of text in there. And if you have any questions, I will do my best to answer all of them on the video. So go ahead and check those out as well. So with that being said, time to wrap this intro up and jump into the behind the scenes look at the photography studio shoot. So the Mustang's made it all the way to the studio today, and I'm super excited to shoot it. I don't normally shoot sports cars. Usually they're those run-of-the-mill people cars, so when they do come in, I'm always happy and excited to shoot them. So in the studio today, I've got the Mustang sitting here ready to go, sitting on the turntable, nice and ready. And I've got our lighting equipment that I might use sitting over here. This was from a previous shoot, so I haven't organized that lighting just yet, but I'll try and do that once I put the camera down here. So what we'll be doing today is we're going to do a classified shoot. So these photos will be for like a dealership to use. So they're not going to be that billboard level quality, but even so, when you see what the photos are raw off the camera to the finished product, it's such a crazy difference. So with that, let's jump into it. I'll probably do some photos and a video. Let's check it out. Alright guys, the Mustang's pretty much in the position where I want to kind of start working on that first shot. The lighting that I've got here is kind of just sitting in like a dummy spot at the moment. I'll start working on that soon. But what I quickly thought I would say is for these shoots, it's not just one photo. We take stacks of different shots, lighting each individual panel or trying to get that right lighting scenario. There might be a shot for the paint, for a panel, for the interior, exterior, things like that. For what we're doing today, these shoots will probably be maybe 3 to 7 images that I'll layer on together. But if we were going billboard level quality, which we're not doing today, these could be like 50 plus photos all layered to do that one final photo. So there's a lot of work that goes into these. So if you're wondering on our choice of lighting that we're using today, I've just got these Lupo LED light panels here. They're pretty good, pretty dual purpose. Made in Italy, as you can see, so that means they're pretty fancy. We can adjust the color temperature as well. Generally just stick everything on white because we're in a white room, obviously. But yeah, these lights, they're just really good multi-purpose lights. They do video, they do interviews, they do these kind of shoots as well. If we were going to like an advertising billboard level, we'd certainly be investing in some better quality lights, but for what we're doing today, these will fit the brief just fine. So I realize I'm using this camera to actually shoot on. This is my Sony A7R3, but I thought I'd talk about what's happening because I won't be able to actually show you while I'm doing it. What I've got are these 4 lights here, which I'll be using to light the car. For each of these scenarios, I can either aim these lights at the car, which will make that paint pop out, or I aim the lights at the walls and kind of bounce the light onto the car nice and softly. And for each part of the car, we might need to move these lights around because they can cause quite a lot of havoc. And obviously too, with the reflective car, these light poles and lights can be reflected there, which are often unavoidable, and it just means Photoshop pain, but what do you do, right? All right, last thing I'll show you before I jump in is the circular polarizer on the camera. In a studio environment, it is epic, and I can't think of any other better way to show what a circular polarizer does. Have a look. I'm just going to spin the polarizer around. Look at that. Awesome. So I'm going to put this at a spot that I think is a good starting point. I reckon that's pretty good. And we'll kick it off. So unfortunately guys, I'm using this camera to shoot the car as well, so I won't be able to show you the proper behind the scenes of the actual shoot itself. I cannot move the camera in any way, shape or form during this process. But what I'll be doing is taking about 5 to 7 shots that I'm going to be lighting differently in each one, and then I'll be layering all of those together in Photoshop. So what I generally do is I start with a shot where I light the car using the bounce light off the walls, following by another shot where I aim the lights on the car to get that paint to pop out. And then I'll be moving the lights around to kind of pick up some key areas of the car, like the front bumper, the wheels and tires and things like that. Overall, I'll put all these together and hopefully you'll see the finished product. Now, I couldn't do a studio video without showing you a little bit of the behind the scenes from the actual photo shoot, right? So here we are looking at one of the original photos that I've taken off the camera. So this is completely unedited, and I thought I'd show you what the finished product looks like as well. So I'll just turn this layer off here. And yeah, huge difference as you can see. So there is a lot of work that goes into this shot to make it look like that. And even with that said, there is a lot further you could take this shot, whether you're shooting it on camera or editing it in Photoshop. And for what we're doing today, this is perfectly fine for what we need to deliver. So overall, there's probably about 2 hours put into this image, maybe, or at least an hour. I wasn't actually keeping track of time when I was doing it today. So first of all, I thought I'd quickly kick off with showing you kind of how I combine all these images together. So I've got about 8 layers here, which are a whole heap of different images, as you can see as I turn these off. So we start with a base layer, have another one, and we kind of just drop really small different layers onto the image as we go to kind of build that composite up. From here though, it's basically we've got our nice finished image, and then we kind of just start building onto it. So next up, I kind of do the basic corrections. So as you can see, I kind of remove a couple of bits of damage, dust, scratches, marks off the car. And from then I kind of jump in and I remove the floor. That's a bit of a complicated process. I hate moving floors, but it's one of those necessary jobs. From here I kind of do a finished edit where I kind of just tweak it just a little bit further. And as you can see, what I do here is I kind of just darken those blacks and make those highlights pop just a little bit more. And that's pretty much all there is to it. But if you do have a look at our layers here, there is like a considerable amount of work that goes into this. So I'd probably say I spent maybe 2 hours on putting all this together. But overall, it's a pretty good image for what I'm wanting to deliver. So we could take this image so much further if we wanted. There is a lot more scope to push this further. With studio images, you can kind of never stop editing, so you need to know when to pull back and end the day, because you can just spend hours and hours and hours editing these. But if I wanted to take it a little bit further, I thought I'd show you at this state we're ready to kind of take it to the next level, and one of those levels is we can start recoloring it. So I thought I'd show you a little bit of what that could be. So particularly because we've used a primary color, I can now jump in and change that color to another primary. And I really like blue because it's a different color than tail lights and badges and things like that. And from here we can start really changing the colors up. So we could do green, we could do dark red, we could do a proper blue that's matching one of the current colors in the Mustang range. We could do white, we could do black, and so on. There's a lot of flexibility here for us to recolorize to other colors. So this is just my way of editing this image, guys. It's certainly not the only way to go through this process. It's just what I've found effective. And for the content I've shot here today, it's not the greatest quality. Like I said, we could take it so much further, and that's so much further in the editing process as well as the shooting process as well. So as I mentioned in the studio, there's hundreds of different ways of tackling that, whether we use extra lighting, we take a lot more photos. All this complicates the whole process and brings it all together. But I'm sure you'll agree, with using a handful of photos that we've taken and throwing them into Photoshop in this way, you know, for 5 to 7 shots, the difference from before and after is just extremely huge. So I hope you enjoyed that little behind the scenes look into how the studio image comes together and kind of how you can take it further from there. Okay, so just finished the Mustang shoot. Probably took me about 2 hours, and doing this on my own is a bit of a workout. You do have to run backwards and forwards while you're setting the lights up and everything like that. But I think I got a good handful of images that I'll finish up on once I get home and edit them. So we're pretty much done in the studio, which is awesome. So I do have to return the car tomorrow to Ford, and I'm really hoping to get a bit of a quick, fun drive in. So what I'm gonna do now is close up the studio, get on the road, and hopefully find some nice quiet back roads to let the car unleash the V8. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that behind the scenes look at a photo studio shoot. This is a pretty basic one that I did today. You could go crazy with the lighting, go so much more in depth with the editing process and things like that. And if you think that photo looks good, we could take that so much further in that editing process. But I'm happy with that today, and it's certainly enough for the client that we're working with as well. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to say thanks, once again, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's really greatly appreciated. And make sure you leave a comment and check out that written description as well. Otherwise, stay tuned for part 2. I'll be putting the Mustang on the road and kind of talking about the experience compared to my Subaru as well. So hopefully that's an interesting one for you guys, and we'll see you then.